Have you hit the 40-year-old slump? Maybe for you, that's 50, 60, 30, but I am seeing a huge trend of 40-year-old slump. If you're 40, it's not too late. And I really wanted to talk about why at 40, you're not hitting a slump. You are just getting started, baby. You are in your prime. And if you're watching this and you're 50 and 60 and going, of course, 40 is prime, but I'm 50 and 60, what I'm going to share with you changed my life. And I guarantee there's going to be a lot of value in here for you if you are questioning your age and going, is this all life has to offer? I thought I was meant for more. And you're getting that sinking feeling that comes with age, stagnation, maxing out on your career. If you are feeling any of those things, stay tuned because by the end of this episode, I hope to have you so fired up, not even thinking about your age and realizing that the best is yet to come. Hi, I'm Tracy from the Money Boss Show, and I am here to help you step into your personal power, make more money, and build your dream life because you can and we will. So buckle up, like the episode, subscribe, and let's do this. As I mentioned, I have been seeing so much on YouTube about if you're 40, if you are 50, as in it is the end of the world that you've reached 40. And I'll give you a little secret. Having just gone through this and pretty much out the other side, I want to talk about this because I have gone through the trenches of working with age and thought the thoughts, did the work, and I am confident what I'm going to share with you will have you fired up just like me. So here is the problem. 40 is young. I mean, it's midlife, right? 50 is young and 60 is young. But there's something about age that they really just don't prepare us for. And you're in your 20s, and of course, you're young. The world is your oyster. 30, you're knocking it out of the park. And then I can't speak for anybody but myself, but 40 hit like a ton of bricks. And it's really weird. I was not one of those people that ever worried about age because realistically, I'm like, give your head a shake. You're a day older than you were yesterday. So let's be logical. But 40, let's say 40 did something different for me. And rightfully so. I think there is a profound blessing and gift in a midlife crisis. And whether 40 is technically midlife crisis, whether that hits you at 40, 45, 50, it seems to come on those big round decade numbers, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Those numbers seem to hit a little bit differently. But here is the thing. If you are in your 40s and 50s and 60s, you are really just in your prime. And why do I say that? Well, I have some really good stuff that I'm going to go through with you. So we're going to talk about the problem, why this happens, why it's a blessing, why it is simply not true and you truly are in your prime, and how to take this feeling, this worry, all your experience, and use it as fuel to make the days to come the best days of your life. So I heard an incredible quote. I'm going to say last year. So I'm 43, working through these 40 things. Like I said, it kind of struck me funny that age hit me. And you work through it, and then you start to gain the wisdom, and then you listen and you go, oh, okay, this makes sense. I'm going to go through these uncomfortable emotions, thoughts, fears, work through them logically, emotionally, and hopefully come out the other side with a well-grounded approach. My mission for this video. So this is the quote I heard, I'd say about last year. In your 20s, you spend your time doing what everybody tells you to do. In your 30s, you spend your 30s doing what you want to do. And then in your 40s, You spend your time questioning everything you did in your 20s and 30s. And funny enough, this is an incredibly vulnerable episode, but that's what happened to me. And I'm out on the other side, and looking back, I'm happy with all my decisions, and I wouldn't have done it any different if I could. But it's an important and it seems natural benchmarking, a marking of time going by. And I think with such a busy hustle culture, with so many distractions, when we hit a midlife crisis, people always laugh about the old guy in the Corvette and the person packing up and leaving. But here is, I think, what the profound wisdom is. I don't think it's just a fluffy age or regrets, and it could be regrets. But here's the thing. I think a midlife crisis or a age crisis is your soul whispering to you, going, wake up. Are you happy with the life you're living? You're halfway done. You're in your 50s, you're in your 60s, your 70s. Like they talk about the biological clock for women. I'm going to say that when we have a nagging feeling about age, that is your soul going tick tock, tick tock. Are you happy? Are you in a job you hate and you just keep on going because it's secure? I'm not saying quit your job, money boss here with a grounded approach to making money and being financially smart. But if we listen to ourselves, there's a nagging, gnawing feeling. I always say on this channel, I think we all have a divine calling, a spark in us. And to me, whether it is singing or speaking or building or being an architect or a lawyer or a mom or artist, whatever it is, I believe that is planted in us before we end up here on planet Earth. And whether we monetize it or not, I think we are supposed to follow that spark. So, depending on where you're at in life and the situation you grew up in, your decisions in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, if you were fortunate enough to follow your calling, then you might not be feeling those whispers and those nagging feelings. But there's so many people that they get to 40 and they go, what is this all about? Is this all there is to life? And yes, 40 is young. So 50 and 60 and 70-year-olds, if you're watching this, I get it. But age is relative. And we're all going through what we're going through at the moment. And again, heed the blessing, heed the message. So I think when we reach an age and that sinking gut feeling, that's probably our soul. That is our inner calling, our divine spark saying, tick tock, not to make you panic anymore. And don't quit your job and don't pack up and leave. Just take this with a grounded approach and work through it. But I think there is a blessing in there that we often ignore. And I think one of the things, besides questioning everything we did in our 20s and 30s, I think why that 40 mark hits. And again, maybe for you, it's at 50 or 60, depending where we're at. Maybe it's at 35. You have a crisis because you're getting divorced, and that's your moment. We all have different journeys that we're walking here on planet Earth. But I think what happens on that 40 mark, midway, the average life expectancy is 80. But here's the things that I think happen and why we have a bit of that 40-year-old slump. And if we don't use that time to work through it and then launch into the prime of our life, we'll stay in a slump thinking that what is here right now, our present reality, is all there is to it. And stick with me to the end because I'm going to share some of the most valuable things at the end, how to change your future, just so you know. So why 40? Well, you're halfway done. Feels funny saying that. But that's something not to ignore. It's like, okay, am I happy with what I'm doing? Am I happy with the choices I made? I'm halfway mark. I can look at this and assess. So why else? it's a number thing. It's a benchmarking of half your time gone, half left, depending the way you want to look at it. Cup half full, cup half empty, right? But here's the other thing I have noticed. When you get in your 20s and 30s, there is so much new going on. You're getting out of high school. You're getting new jobs. You're going to university. You're coming out of university. You're working your way up the career ladder. You're graduating. You are maybe traveling and doing exciting things. You hopefully find somebody to spend your life with. You get married. You have children. By 40, I look around, and if you're not intentional, people start to get the sinking feeling because there is nothing new happening. And as humans, not only do I believe we are here with a spark in us, and whether we monetize that gift, that talent or not, doesn't matter. I also think the true purpose of life is to grow and to become the best version of ourselves, to learn, to explore, to be able to express ourselves at our highest potential, which looks different for everybody. So when you're going through your 20s and 30s, you're working your way up the career ladder, and then you get a promotion and you get a promotion. But by 40, you're pretty well into a career if you've stuck with it. Guess what happens? Nothing is new anymore. What once seemed so exciting, becoming a partner at the law firm, becoming a manager, you're going, oh, wow, I get some more money, but the responsibility is not worth it. It's not as much money as I thought. And holy Dinah, having to manage people, the level of pressure. So the newness has worn off, and then we stagnate. Oh, and truly, three things. To be happy, my secret for happiness. Something to do, somebody to love, something to look forward to. So something to do, your job. We just said it's getting boring. Someone to love. Hopefully you have a spouse and some children, but sometimes you get a divorce. Sometimes your kids are getting older, doing their own thing. So you don't have that relationship aspect, and that can change your life. Something to look forward to. I think this is where the 40-year-old slump happens. We've reached the pinnacle. So now we just got to hope for a cost of living raise or to expand our practice and just live out the next 20, 25 years doing status quo. What do you mean? I worked all my 20s and 30s away for this moment. Is this all there is? And you look at it, and when the human and your soul is not growing, you become stagnant. You are not excited. So we need to find something new to look forward to. And that's one of my keys to success, whether it's something new and small weekly, monthly, annually, or a new focus. So whether it is a change of career, again, I'm throwing these out here. Don't listen to me. Use this as food for thought on some ways to get some freshness back to your life. Maybe that is changing up responsibilities in a job, changing companies, starting your own business, completely changing and starting a second career. Maybe you worked on the oil rigs and now you're going to become a plumber and start your own business. 40, 50, we're young. It's not like it used to be in our grandparents' day and age. At that age, the technology wasn't there. They worked very physical, outdoors often as farmers, a lot of hard work. Now we're living longer, we have longer career, and we need money for a longer period of time to support ourselves. So what are we going to do? Onus on us to make the years to come better than what has gone by. And we can do it because I'll move to the next part. Sum this up here, and then I'll move to the next part. All the reasons why we get to that slump. But truly, I do believe we just get to a point where there's no newness. So what are we going to do to freshen up our life? Is it going to be to take up a hobby? Is it going to be to help support a cause? Is it going to be volunteering, new business, new career, all those things that I said? The slump comes from the fact that there's no new and then we stop growing because we've reached it. We've reached the pinnacle of success. We've traveled. You get a general feeling of been there, done this. What else? And that I think is the work in each of the decades as we age. I talked about the midlife crisis being a blessing and to heed it, listen to it. It is your soul saying, tick tock, tick tock. Tracy, you want to be a YouTuber. Are you doing it? You're doing it. Okay, good. Tracy, you want to do this. Are you doing it? Oh, you're not doing it? Tick tock, honey, tick tock. So why the 40-year-old slump? I'm going to make the argument that 40 is not been there, done that sinking feeling. I'm going to say, honey, it is just the start. Why? I'm going to share a quote with you. Blew my mind, settled my soul when I was starting to have a bit of that 40-year-old slump myself. For those of you guys that have tuned in, I have built media companies. Independent media companies competing against media giants. I've been doing that for 17 years, and then I launched a podcast and video show for my main media company 8 years ago. I love it. It aligns with my mission to help people be the money boss of their life. In agriculture, I help them run their best farming operation so they can be profitable and so that the farm can continue on to the next generation. That's what I do for my main work. Money Boss, I'm here to help you make money so that you can build your dream life, express what you've been sent here to planet Earth to do, to become the biggest, best, fullest version of yourself. And once you do that, to start to give back and help others. So when I heard this quote, it really was right at the end of my 40s crisis and helped to really put it in perspective. And I'll give you a resource as well. Psychologist and psychotherapist Carl Jung, as we all know, anytime you study self-help, you're going to hear about Carl Jung. He's very smart, studies the brain, studies people, studies emotion. This is what he said. Life really does begin at 40. Up until then, you are just doing research. And isn't it true? We feel like we're done because we've reached the pinnacle of our career. But I'm going to challenge you. Is this the pinnacle of your career, or are you just getting started? If you're here listening to the Money Boss show or watching it, you're ambitious. You want to live your best life. You want to be personally powerful, make more money, build your dream life. Don't apologize. And it is totally available to you. In this day and age, I say it a million times on the channel, we have all the tools to become independent millionaires and billionaires. And even at that, throw that all aside. To replace our income and work from home and have freedom to enjoy our life and see the world? I don't care. Million, billion, that's fine. What about 60,000 to replace your wage? 100,000. A business that does 200,000, 300,000? Here is what I'm going to challenge you. What if you haven't reached your peak? What if you have just served your time? What if you have just went from your schooling to the practical on-job knowledge part of your life? I'm saying here, if you're 40, you're at your company, you've been a graphic designer, you've worked your way through all the agencies in town, you are bored, you are underpaid, you have bigger dreams for your life. Put your situation into what I'm saying. You're at 40, 43, 45, 50. 55, you're like, oh my God, I have 10, 15, 20 years of this. I am not going to be able to make it, but I make too much money to just go work at a greenhouse. What do I do? What if life for the person here that wants more for themselves, that wants to be a money boss, that wants to be in charge of their destiny? What if life is set up in a few parts? We go to elementary school, high school, post-secondary education. So phase one is high school. Phase two is post-secondary education. Phase three is on-job training. And let's call that till you're 40, somewhere around there. Happens different for each of us. 35, 40, 45, 50, 60. What if you have now just been fully trained, not with university education, because that's one thing, but on the job training on how to do your craft, how to run a business, how to design, how to operate an agency, how to take care of customers, how to set up the structure? What if you just had all the on-job training and now you have a little bit more time on your hands because you're settled in your career? The kids are growing up and busy with their friends because they're teenagers. If you're 50 or 60, the kids are moved out. What if this is you time? What if this is dream time? The weird thing is, and I'm accused of this, and I've had a fantastic level of success, but I'm sitting here at 40 going, I know I'm capable of so much more, of serving at a greater level, of helping people, of getting a bigger message out there with my media companies and with Money Boss. What if 40 plus is dream time? I thought it was all supposed to happen by now. But here is the thing. When you are in business or a career, there is a lot of time, a lot of learning, a lot of mistakes that go into making you the person that you are in a job or a business by the time you're 40. And how I would have loved to be where I'm going to be in 10 years, 10 years ago. I don't know. It wasn't meant for me, obviously, or else I would have done it at that amount of time. But what if we're like a fine wine that we are brewing and aging and experiencing to become the person that has the knowledge and the experience and the maturity and the personal skills to be the millionaire, the billionaire? Why did we think that was supposed to happen? If you're keen, like so many are, we watch social media and we see the next 23-year-old TikTok star reaching billionaire fame in their Corvette, and we're like, what? Like, what am I doing wrong with my life? Like, that kid just dances on TikTok. But truly, that is the unicorn. And rightfully so. In the past, before social media, you had to be born to the right people with money to even think that success was possible for you, right? You had to have rich parents, win the lottery, or have friends in high places that could give you loans to start big box stores that cost a lot of money to start. Success in the past, wealth in the past was generational for the select few. Now, with the tools available, the internet, free, cheap websites, free social media, free platforms to get yourself out there, we have the ability to reach more people with our message, our skill, our product than ever before for the lowest cost possible. So if you haven't reached your level of success that you thought was possible or should have happened, if you're a big dreamer, don't be ashamed. Some of us just have a feeling, a desire, an urge to be more, to do more, to make more impact, to grow, to accomplish big things, whatever that is for you. If you thought it was supposed to happen by now and it hasn't happened at all, if you're nowhere near or you're reached some success, then you're happy. Why did we think this was supposed to happen? Could it be that this period from today back was all our training we need to grow us into the person that can finally become self-employed. Not saying quit your job, but you have all the skills, the tools, the knowledge, a maturity, some time, some money, hopefully, that now you're like, wait a minute. Okay, I just need to find a little bit more go-go juice. And what if this is the moment where it all starts to come together? Because as we all know, the best wine isn't put in the bottle and consumed the next day. The best wine is the wine that sits and ages and does its thing and progresses and matures. So if you're 40, 50, 60, I'm going to say, what if your best is not behind you? What if it's just getting started? So back to Carl Jung and the quote he gave that changed my life. He said, let's recap that. Life really does begin at 40. Up until then, you are just doing research. As I sit, I'm a business owner. I started 17 years ago growing a media company. What did I know at 26? And everything was different and everything changed over the years. So I've been spending a lot of time learning sales, marketing, accounting, customer service, YouTubing. I have been doing all these things for 17 years. And truly, when I put my worries aside about this big 40 and started to think logically again, I'm like, wait a minute. I am perfectly positioned, capable, knowledgeable, confident to take 40 years and go, what can we do? For me, I have my media companies. I'm taking them to the next level, growing them, providing more value to our audience and our clients. But I truly believe that I have this desire to communicate and to empower people that they can be money bosses. Why? Because the world is expensive. We need money to live, let alone to use to become the best version of ourselves, to become comfortable, to buy the things we like, to express our highest desire and gift, and to build our dream life. We shouldn't apologize for that. So I'm sitting here going, wait a minute, I have time. I have money. I have all the skills and knowledge. I've done all the mistakes with my first company. I'm at this level at 40 of maturity and experience and no nonsense. And have you ever seen a picture of a duck swimming and underneath the water, the feet are paddling really quick, but up top they're like calm, cool, and collected? That's how I felt from, I'm going to say, about 0 to 42. I felt like I was just really busy. And while busy is great and the momentum and the enthusiasm of youth is excellent, but often we're not strategic. And now I have a calmness and maturity about myself at 40. 40. I thought I'd be an old person by 40. But here I'm feeling, wait a minute, Tracy, the best is not gone by. You have your companies, and yes, I've had and have successful companies. But whether or not you have money in the bank, successful companies, it doesn't matter. What will make you happy, successful in the future is what's in your head. It's your experience, your knowledge, your mindset. So I don't care what's in your bank account or what you have to your name. You have experience. You have knowledge, whether you value that or not. You've been through some stuff. If you're 40 or 50 or 60, you've been through some stuff. Chances are you have a talent. Chances are you have something to say, or you can find a product to sell. So I'm going to say, what if your best years aren't behind you at 40, 50, 60? What if your best years are just getting started? So if we look, and I pulled up a website and I think it gave 30 people that reach success later in life. I'm going to say there's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people because of some social media, we always think you're supposed to be a TikTok star at 23. But that's not the truth. I think a lot of people reach success later, prime time, 40. Why? Because of what I just said. It's like, oh, I've got this. Okay, young pups. I've got this. I've been through some stuff. I know some stuff. I have the maturity, the experience, the time, hopefully some income to help put towards a side hustle business while you continue to work. Think, for example, J.K. Rowling. She wrote the Harry Potter series at 40. Martha Stewart just got going at 41. Vera Wang, I think she's purses or shoes, 40. Henry Ford, one of the icons of self-help. He didn't build his first car till 45. Colonel Sanders, Kentucky Fried Chicken. He didn't start till 60s. And I think the story goes he was denied like 1,000 times. Or is that the light bulb 1,000 times and he got it on 1,001? But regardless, both of those are great stories on their own. Colonel Sanders, 60s. By the standards we have been taught, you should be retiring and checking out old folks' homes. That's not the case. And it's not the case for the world that we live in. We need to just really throw off those weird ideas about age that society had. And maybe those ideas that we have and those fears and concerns about time and reaching our prime and if it's gone and oh my God, I thought I was so keen and this is all I've accomplished by 40, by 50. Well, here's my lot in life. Not the case. The best days are yet to come. I have that sign on my wall. And while I've enjoyed success and a beautiful life, I am so excited to take what I have done and learned and the mistakes I've made and the experience I've gained to build the Money Boss platform to help you take all your previous experience, put it into action and go. Because the best of us is ahead of us. Remember that. So I hope if you are in the 40-year slump, the 50-year slump, the 60-year slump, heck, I just seen a guy that started a YouTube channel that's huge. He started in his 80s. Oh my goodness. The best of us is yet to come. The best is yet to come. Remember this. And remember what I've told you from previous episodes. You create your reality. So what I've just shared is the mindset piece. Let's kick age to the curb. That's our thoughts and beliefs. Now we're feeling a little better. I hope this has given you the wind beneath your wings that it gave me to move through these age and time concerns and fears. So you're going to feel better. It's like, wait a minute. I'm 40. I'm 50. I got this. Young pups, you've got nothing on me. So you're feeling a little better. So what's going to happen? Where maybe you watched this today and yesterday, you're like, oh my God, this is done. Like I've reached a pinnacle. So I get to work at this agency for 25 more years until I retire. Help? Yuck. No wonder people get depressed, right? If you were thinking that yesterday, I'm hoping from this video, you're thinking and believing, feeling different. And now with those, you're going to act different and you're going to get different results. So let's go back to acting, action. Action happens. So if you're feeling reinvigorated, that your best is yet to come, you have totally switched your paradigm. So what's the next steps? What do you want? What is that goal that you want to set for yourself? You can do it. Do you want to start a YouTube channel? Do you want to be an influencer? Do you want to sell products? Do you want to do e-commerce? Do you want to take a sabbatical and serve in your church or go to different countries? What is your goal? What's stopping you? Time off? Money? There's solutions to everything once you think and believe and feel it's possible for you. You can start taking action, and then you're going to get results. And if we are continually exciting ourselves with something that we look forward to, isn't that a recipe for excitement, a fresh feeling, and a longing for a future that's yet to come versus what we may have been feeling, which is dread? So I hope this has lit you up, these ideas, this work I went through. It was some soul work and work. And again, the 50, 60-year-olds, I know you're going, you're young. And then we're all doing that to the people younger than us. But it's true. And we go through it, and there is no shame and there is no judgment. Everything is relative to what we are going through. So you just need to think and believe it's possible. Feel it in your soul. Because if somebody like you has done what you want to do, why not you? Start chasing your dream and get dream results. Doesn't that feel good? When you just kick those limiting beliefs to the curb? You got this. You have the ability to step into your personal power, make more money, build your dream life. I will see you on next week's episode. Bye-bye.